Welcome back to Mr. Magazine, the home of emotion, mystery, and the hidden stories behind the stars. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe, hit that join button to support our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our stories that reveal the truth behind fame. Because tonight, we're diving deep into a moment that has shaken two countries, a confession so raw that it froze millions of viewers in their seats. This is the night Yaman, the global Turkish star, couldn't hold back his heart anymore. And with a trembling voice and a single photograph, he brought back to life a love story that many believed was long buried, his emotional confession about Demet Özdemir. It was supposed to be just another light-hearted episode of Spain's popular talk show La Revuelta. The studio was buzzing, laughter filled the air, and Yaman, known for his charm and calm, sat under the warm lights with his confident smile. But no one, not even the host Miguel Torres, could have guessed what was about to happen when he asked a seemingly simple question. Who has influenced your life the most? For a few seconds, silence reigned. Then, reached into his pocket and slowly pulled out a small, faded photograph, black and white, slightly creased, as if it had been carried close to the heart for years. The camera zoomed in. His fingers trembled slightly as he gazed at it. And then, with a soft, broken tone, he whispered the words that would ignite an emotional storm across continents. This photo was taken years ago, during a day of filming. I was with someone. Back then, when we were together, I felt like the world made sense. That person was Demet. She was my world. The audience froze. You could hear the air being sucked out of the room. Miguel Torres, visibly stunned, didn't even try to interrupt. Can's eyes glistened, and in that moment, the heart of a superstar stood naked before millions. Within minutes, the hashtags #Yaman and #Demet Özdemir exploded across social media platforms. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, they all burned with emotion. Fans wrote things like, "We always knew it wasn't over, and you can't fake a love like that." Others simply posted the phrase that had now become immortal, "for my world." Spanish outlets raced to cover the breaking story. El Mundo ran the headline, "Turkish actor opens his heart on live television." Meanwhile, Ola magazine devoted an entire feature to what they called the confession that brought Spain to tears. The episode of La Revuelta shattered its previous viewership records overnight. Yet behind the applause and social media frenzy, there was another scene, far less visible, but infinitely more painful. In the studio that night sat Sarah Bloomer, Yaman's current girlfriend. She had joined him to support the show, unaware of the storm that was about to erupt. As Can held up Demet's photo and declared, "She was my world," the camera briefly caught Sarah's frozen expression. Her smile vanished. Moments later, she quietly removed her earpiece and stood up. Eyewitnesses later reported that she walked out without a word, tears welling in her eyes. Can, lost in the weight of his emotions, didn't notice her leaving. The director, trying to preserve the dignity of the live broadcast, cut to commercials, but not before a few frames leaked online, showing Sarah silently wiping her tears. The clip spread like wildfire. It wasn't just a confession anymore, it was a heartbreak broadcast to the world. After the show, Can faced the press outside the studio. Under the flash of cameras and the chaos of questions, he took a deep breath and said, "I didn't mean to hurt Sarah. But sometimes your heart refuses to stay silent. That photo isn't my past, it's a part of me. A page of my story." His words were both an explanation and an admission, the kind that only someone who has truly loved could utter. Fans in Spain flooded social media with messages of support. Yaman is the bravest man in entertainment. Others, more critical, accused him of emotional recklessness. But either way, no one could stay indifferent. Back in Istanbul, Demet Özdemir was attending a high-profile fashion event when journalists surrounded her. For a brief moment, she seemed caught off guard when asked about Can's live confession. Then, with the same grace that has always defined her, she smiled faintly and said, "Yes, I saw the show. I was surprised to see that photo. But I'm no longer part of that story. Sometimes you have to face your past, it's normal. I'm grateful for the beautiful memories. But I'm walking my own path now." Her statement was poised and mature, a message that resonated with fans who admired her composure and strength. Still, the spark in her eyes revealed a silent truth: some memories never fade completely. Meanwhile, Can's mother, Yaman, took to social media to defend her son. In a heartfelt post, she wrote, "Can was always a child who never hid his emotions. Keeping them inside would destroy him. That's why he speaks from his heart. Please, don't judge my son for being real." Within hours, her message went viral. Fans from Turkey to Spain flooded her comment section with hearts and words of solidarity. Many called it a mother's timeless defense of her son's honesty. Psychologists, cultural critics, and even sociologists began analyzing what had just happened. Was Yaman's confession a sign of vulnerability, or a dangerous blurring of private and public boundaries? Experts agreed on one thing: it was real. In an age dominated by image and perfection, Can's tears felt like a rebellion against artificiality. His confession wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a human moment, raw, imperfect, and deeply relatable. Millions saw a man still haunted by love, caught between the warmth of memory and the coldness of reality. On fan forums and comment threads, emotions poured in like a tidal wave. Some wrote, "He didn't confess, he healed." Others said, "Demet's calmness shows true class. She's moved on with dignity." The story transcended gossip. It became a reflection of everyone who has ever loved and lost, who has ever looked back at a photograph and whispered, "That was my world." And that's what made this story universal. It wasn't just about celebrities. It was about all of us. In the days following the broadcast, the entertainment world couldn't talk about anything else. Both Turkish and Spanish media replayed the footage endlessly, dissecting every gesture and every tear. Meanwhile, Can retreated from the spotlight, declining interviews. Demet continued her professional engagements, elegant as ever, proving that strength and serenity can coexist with emotional truth. Sarah Bloomer, however, unfollowed both actors on social media, a quiet yet powerful statement in itself. And so, the night Yaman pulled a photograph from his pocket became more than a television moment, it became a piece of modern pop culture history. He reminded the world that even those who seem untouchable carry scars. That fame cannot armor the heart. That sometimes, to heal, you have to bleed, even in public. This story, dear viewers, isn't just about Can and Demet, it's about the echo of love that refuses to die. It's about the courage to speak truth even when it hurts. If this story touched you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Mr. Magazine, and tap the join button to support us in bringing you more emotional and exclusive stories from the world of Turkish stars. Tell us in the comments. Do you believe Yaman was right to speak from the heart? Should Demet respond again, or let the past stay in the past? And which Turkish celebrity should we cover next here on Mr. Magazine? Because every heart has a story, and we're here to tell them all. Until next time, stay curious, stay emotional, and stay tuned to Mr. Magazine.